we got to talk DJ Wagner to Kentucky Tate because this is the news that just broke. This just happened. We've been monitoring this situation for a while. Kentucky, the 2023 class that Kentucky's putting together. Once upon a time, we thought it might have 10 guys. It does not. It has 5. I think they're done now, right? This is it.
I think.
Or who knows?
I mean, who knows? Yeah. I mean, and there's obviously always another player that could end up being the number one player in the class.
And if there's a new number one player, John Calipari has to have him. He has to have him. So it depends on how the rankings shake out from here. But for right now, John Calipari has 5 guys in his 2023 class. They are all number one recruits.
Yes.
In some way, shape, or form. It's incredible. We've never seen anything like this. Hand Kentucky the title now. My question is this, Tate. Is John Calipari retiring or not? Because I can't make sense of the decisions this man keeps making where it feels maybe he's going all in on next year.
I was going to say.
And then that's it. It's one last hurrah.
It's given me – we talked about it last year with Mr. K. And, Mr. K obviously idolized John Wooden, and he wanted to leave with a national championship just like John Wooden did in 1975. But people forget John Wooden let everyone know during the tournament when he already kind of knew he was going to win the championship. He was like, this is my last year.
Yeah, it was like, the Final Four or something?
Yeah, exactly. I think it was the Final Four, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think Calipari is getting ahead of it, just like Mr. K, and he's saying it's one last run, it's one last push before I go to the NBA, before I am the next Nets coach or whatever it may be, and I have to get the 2 number 1 players in the class, Dillingham and DJ Wagner, boom, done, and here we go, 2023. /2023.
This commitment's less about Kentucky to me and more about Louisville. It's like, is Kentucky getting a great recruiting class? We've been there. I've heard that story. I've seen it. I guess at this point, bad things happen in Louisville. I've also seen that, but like it just what do we do, dude? Like it's a state of emergency and then some. It's been in a state of emergency. I keep hitting the panic button on Louisville basketball.
When I think about Louisville basketball,
and nothing's happening. It's not plugged in. The button's not working.
The button is not on, but it makes me think of Homer Simpson when he's like talking to Bart, and Bart's like, "This is the worst day of my life," and he said, "This is the worst day of your life so far."
You hire the coach from Kentucky.
Yep.
Who's really your guy. You hire the guy's grandfather. Mm-hmm. It's a heavy. John Fanta in July is going on shows saying it's a done deal or whatever.
Done deal. So, locked.
Everybody felt that way. I was like, we talked about it. We were like, oh my God, Louisville's back.
I think we brought Rutherford on and we were like, Mike.
It's all happening.
Yeah, it's all happening. Bright days ahead. Again.
You're supposed to get Amani Bates this season, and then next season, DJ Wagner, and away we go. And that's Louisville. And we're a broken record now. I feel like we've talked about the demise of Louisville basketball every show, like the last 5 shows we've done. But the hits just keep coming, and I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand what happened other than this is Rick Pitino cursing the program. Like the ghost of Rick Pitino, that's also a real life human being, but also sometimes when Rick Pitino hasn't had enough coconut water, he gets a little pale on the sidelines. We know that.
Yeah.
He looks like a vampire.
True blood.
He's haunting this program. That's the only thing that makes sense. And I think the only way we can save this, like, the jokes are over, dude. We got to bring Rick back. I'm not joking anymore. It's very serious. And in fact, I'm in a position now where I'm ready to lend my services to the University of Louisville to meme Rick home. I am. Yeah. I'm ready to do that. And I don't do that for anybody, but I'm ready to do it. I've already started. I made the bat signal. I threw that together on my phone. I was like cropping images. It took me 45 minutes to figure out how to do that. Where I when they lost to Bellarmine, shout out to the Bellarmine, the Ballerman. What?
Bellarmine, right? That's
No, dude, it's Bellarmine.
Okay.
Are you serious? Are we doing this again? Jesus, dude. Don't do this. Don't do this. It's Bellarmine.
I'll let it slide. Yeah, it is.
When Louisville lost to Bellarmine, I made the bat signal. It took me forever, but I made it. And I'm ready, dude. I'm ready to meme Rick home. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Like the shtick is over. This isn't a bit anymore. We're not joking. Louisville is cursed. Rick Pitino, of the vampire that is Rick Pitino, has put a curse on this program. I don't understand my mythology and all of that. I'm starting to get better at it as more like 7-foot guys can shoot threes. I'm starting to learn more about mythical creatures and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what the stories are with vampires or some with garlic, right? You're supposed to like wear garlic when they come into a room, or like some with mirrors. I don't know. I need to watch Twilight, I guess.
Yeah.
But
they can't see themselves in mirrors.
That's
do know
what
that.
it is.
Yeah. And I think garlic keeps them away.
And
then a wood stake to the heart is how you
kill them.
Yes. This is all I learned from What We Do in the Shadows. So don't fact check me.
I need to watch Twilight or something and figure out how like Rick Pitino is a vampire and has placed a curse on this program. We have to bring him back and uncurse the program. That's the only way forward. This is disgusting.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. So congratulations to Kentucky for getting DJ Wagner. It's not about Kentucky. This is about Louisville, and we have to fix this.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And you know what? I think Rick Pitino, he might not be listening, but he's definitely feeling it, right? The frequencies, whatever that energy, it is coming back into his space because they played Hofstra on Friday. And look, I didn't watch the Hofstra game. Shout out to Speedy Claxton, great coach. They play Hofstra on Friday, and they lose. And the reason that I knew that they lose is because Rick Pitino, I'm on Twitter. Rick Pitino's on Twitter. I see him post a picture with his grandkid, and he's like, "Some things are bigger than basketball." And I'm like, did I own to lose? Like, why would Rick Pitino post a picture of his grandson unless they lost? I do my due diligence. I see that Hofstra won. Shout out to Speedy Claxton, nice win. But it shows that the eye that was on the prize that we talked about a week ago with Iona this season and making the tournament and making a run, I think Rick Pitino is looking down at Louisville.
This start to 1 week ago today, Louisville lost to Bellarmine.
Wow. That feels
1 week ago.
Yeah.
They then lost to Wright State by 1. I shout out to my guy, Jared Burson, who once upon a time, I know the name because he once upon a time won a Big Ten Stat of the Week on this show. He tweeted this stat that Louisville is the first team to start 0-2 with 2 1-point losses since Arkansas State in 1991-92. That's Louisville. In all of college basketball.
Wow. That's
in the history of the sport,
Yeah.
since 1992, nobody has opened a season with 2 1-point losses until Louisville did it this past week. And just when you thank God the week's over and we can flip it's the start of a new week.
Yeah.
New week, new beginnings. And Louisville fans were waking up on a Monday morning saying, how could this get any worse?
Yeah, another 1-point loss. You lost 1 point guard who was going to change your whole program.
You finished second.
Yeah,
DJ Wagner.
At least you were top 2.
What does this mean for the rivalry though? Because I think this is terrible for the rivalry. If you have a kid that can seriously consider both schools, because it feels like if this was like a true good versus evil, and I'm not even saying which side is good and which side is evil, because I'm not a Louisville fan by any stretch of the imagination. I just want them to have a heartbeat again. If one side's good and one side's evil, you can't have a kid who's in bed with both of them at the exact same time and then has his final 2 schools be those 2 schools, right?
I agree.
That's bad.
Yeah, it is bad. And also, DJ Wagner, I have the quote. He was asked about, they were like, "Hey, DJ, Kentucky-Louisville, what a rivalry." Here's his quote. He said, quote, "I feel like it's crazy, the Kentucky-Louisville rivalry." And he continued, "That rivalry between Kentucky-Louisville in general and just the history behind it, it's a great rivalry." He has no idea. There is no rivalry. There is no rivalry.
That's LeBron James asked about The Godfather.
Yeah. What's your favorite scene in The Godfather? He's like, man, so many scenes. So many scenes.
There's so many. How do you pick just one? We're like, well, just pick one, LeBron.
Yeah, just.
But what if you were to just pick one? Just pick one.
And he's like, what's your favorite scene? That's the energy that DJ Wagner gives off here. And also the fact that your dad is working at Kentucky, but also played for Calipari, who also, I mean, the fact that Rick Pitino coached at both schools, like
that's bad for the rivalry.
Right? That kind of all says it.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations to Kentucky. I can't make sense of the Cal part of this all. Like I said, the only thing that does make sense, I guess, is that he's making one last run at it. But I thought Cal had gone away from this sort of thing. I thought that was the old version of Cal at Kentucky, was collecting the 5 stars and talking about these kids and all that. But maybe this team, this tells me, this recruiting class tells me that Cal might really hate this team this year.
Yeah.
He's like so fed, like this, because this team he has this year is the culmination of this new approach of him going to the transfer portal and leaning on older guys and all that sort of
veterans.
Thing. So it was supposed to coalesce this season with your National Player of the Year coming back, CJ Frederick healthy and eligible and all of that, and you have all these old heads at Kentucky with a little mixture of some good recruits, and the signs out of Lexington, he doesn't love the team tape. Maybe this is what's going on. Maybe he's like, you know what, screw it, I'm going back to the old love I have, which is 5-star 18-year-olds.
Yes.
I'm collecting all of those. We're making one last run at number 9, and then I'm calling it quits, and that's it.
And what's his favorite word? Potential. I mean, that is what John Calipari thrives on, is potential, and talking about what these kids can be when they turn into my guys. And right now, when you're a veteran, CJ Frederick is already his guy just by time. He's like, that's my guy. but I wish he was a kid. I wish I could talk to him like he's a kid. I even saw John Wall was talking about when he was a freshman and he went there and he was like, we had to get up at 6 a.m. We're running suicides. And I'm texting my mom. I'm like, I got to leave here.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, Cal, like, this guy's crazy.
That's crazy.
And I feel like with vets and things like that, and you're trying to maybe load manage someone like Oscar Tshiebwe, and Oscar Tshiebwe is also making $2 million, right? There's a lot more factors that are at play, and all Cal really wants is like an 18-year-old that's a 5-star that he's like, you suck. Line up. That's all he wants to do. And I think this class, especially with Reed Shepherd being in it, Reed Shepherd's going to line up. He's like,
is DJ Wagner going to line up? Is the guy who signed
is Rob Dillingham going to
name, image, likeness deal with Nike, and then Rob Dillingham, who we know about Rob Dillingham. Are these two guys going to buy in? I don't know. We'll see. But
also, don't they play the same position? Can I ask that? Is that fair to ask? They are both the number one recruit in the class. I don't know how that works. And they're both the number one combo guard in the class. The only difference is that Robert Dillingham is the number one player in North Carolina, and our boy DJ Wagner is the number one player in New Jersey. But again, they are the number one player at every single, site that you can find. And then at the end of the day, they're going to have to play the same position. I'm confused. Hey there, thanks for watching Titus and Tate. For the full friend of the program experience, subscribe right below and come join us for all things college basketball. The action is heating up. Come join Titus and Tate.